Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, me and Bobby are going to sit down and discuss Rolex's proposed price increases from the 1st of January 2025. As always, we want you guys to get interactive with this. Whilst you're watching the video, anything that pops up, any questions you have, any thoughts that you have, if you don't agree with us, if you do agree with us, get in the comments. We want to read everything. We want to see what your thoughts are. Obviously, this is going to be a big change with Rolex going forward. So let's dive into the video. So from the 1st of January 2025, there will be a 1% price increase on steel, Rolexium and platinum, a 2% price increase on white Rolsa, 5% price increase on yellow Everose and titanium, a 7% price increase in white, yellow and Everose gold. And then probably the biggest thing that stuck out to us so far is the Daytonas. So obviously the price increase is going to range from 1% to 14%. So it's going to be 1% on pieces in platinum, 3% on pieces in steel, 6% in pieces in yellow Rolex, excuse the pronunciation for all those of you watching, and 14% price increase on gold, white, yellow and Everose. And this is going to be at the exemption of gem set models. Let me make you aware though, this is from the authorized dealers. So we're going to discuss what we think this is going to do to the grey market, but this is solely for authorized dealers. This is direct from Rolex, and this is the prices that you'll be paying from the ADs. Bobby, what are your thoughts on it?
It's great for the grey market. I don't understand it fully. The only way of looking at it and understanding it is the fact that, especially with the 14% increase on the Daytonas, and that would be a full bracelet Daytona, I imagine. That's just in line with the price of gold and what's happened to gold this year. I think at the start of the year, gold was around about 48 to 49,000 pound a kilo. Today, I think it is around about 66.5 kilo. I think it's been as high as 70 this year. So obviously that has to come into effect when Rolex are making 18 karat gold watches. It's obviously more expensive for them to make the watch, and there's more material going into the watch and a higher expense to them. So the biggest problem that I can see with this is the fact that, as we've spoke about in previous videos, 18 karat yellow gold watches especially, in most cases a 7% rise on yellow gold pieces is just going to make even less of them come out of the ADs. But then is that a good thing? So if even less of these watches are coming out of the ADs, then there's less supply in the market, in the grey market, which means in theory, demand is higher because there's less of them to go around. And is that going to stimulate people buying them again from the ADs? I don't know. Rolex appear to be playing a strange game with the grey market at the minute.
Do you think it's greed from Rolex in terms of they're trying to just squeeze as much money as they can and sort of get rid of the grey market? Because they are trying to compete price-wise, aren't they? And obviously the resale.
Are they being greedy? I don't think so. I don't think Rolex needs to be greedy. They have the market. I think it is just the fact that especially solid gold pieces cost a lot more to make. But if they're struggling to sell them out the ADs, because I've seen images of trays in ADs full of yellow gold watches, day-dates, Daytonas that they can't sell. If you can't sell something, normally you reduce your price, like we do in the grey market. Our prices are up and down all the time based on market conditions. Rolex don't do that. They don't go down, they only go up, which means, again, I've said it, there'll be more and more of these watches sat there, not moving. To counteract that, the only way I can see them getting around that and selling those watches is by reducing production. So there's less of them coming out, but at a higher price. I don't know. It's so hard to understand, really. A Rose GMT at the moment in the grey market is selling on the list. In 6 months' time, when the price rises are full in effect, we'll still be selling those root beers on the list. But from a grey market perspective, hopefully we're selling them 6% or 7% higher than what we are today. People aren't buying those out the ADs now because they can't bring them to us and flip them for a profit. It's going to be even harder for them in 2, 3, 4 months' time to do the same thing. So it's hard to see what's going to happen in the marketplace at the moment. But the only thing that can happen now because of that is everyone's prices go up.
For me, it's a bit backwards because surely if they're not selling them and they are selling for under list, you'd want to make them more attainable for people because now, like you say, no one's going to want to buy a full rose root beer from an AD. Why would you?
So about 10 years ago, you could probably walk into your AD and they would offer you a discount on buying a solid gold piece, like a full yellow gold Daytona. You'd probably get a discount if you were to buy something else as well. That doesn't happen anymore. Before I knew about these price rises coming out yesterday, the rumour was Rolex were going to start offering discounts again on yellow gold pieces to stimulate the market on them. But again, that was just a rumour. And then you see this, none of it adds up. Like you're talking about on bimetal stuff. Like in the past videos, we've talked about like the bimetal Datejust 41, champagne dial, fluted jubilee, so the top spec configuration. Forget diamond. The list price on that, I think, is like 13.5 grand. You're now going to put a 5% markup on that. Pretty much another 1,500 quid, is it? So you're talking nearly 15 grand now for a date just. A bimetal date just.
From 2020 to 2024, they've put the prices up gradually. But do you think it's got to the point now where this is such a topic of conversation because it is now getting to the point where it's like, why would you go to an AD? See, in 2020, we saw an increase of about 7.4%. 2022, obviously, varied depending on what, but about 19.3% over certain models and 15%. And then obviously in 2024, an average of 4%. And now we're going even higher.
I think it's just the cost of living, isn't it? It's obviously affecting Rolex as well. Everything's more expensive to make, everything's more expensive to manufacture. Materials, especially with gold, have gone through the roof. That's even in construction and everything. So it's obviously taken its toll on even massive organisations like Rolex. I think it'll benefit the grey market as a whole, and not just the grey market traders, people who deal in the grey market, people who buy grey market, people who have bought from grey market. Anyone sat there now, in my opinion, with like white gold day dates, rose gold day dates, full yellow Daytonas, rose Daytonas. I think now is the time where you can finally say, wow, okay, we're going to see a decent jump now. The market will go up and it'll follow suit. I'm not going to say we're automatically going to start selling Daytonas 14% higher than we are today, because we're not. That's just the list price. But even if it's half of that, or even 5% increase, then it's definitely better for the grey market.
Yeah. Well, so far, if you're watching and you've got any questions, make sure, as I said before, get them in down below. Ask your questions now, and we will come back to you. We will try and answer as many of them as we can. Obviously, no one really knows what's going to happen in 2025. This is all kind of like hearsay in terms of like, you know, how it's going to affect the grey market, how it will affect your watch. But make sure you are getting your questions in, and we will come back to you and answer.
And obviously, if you were about to buy from your AD and you've got a call and you've got a watch there waiting for you, get in there before the 1st of Jan, because depending on what you're buying, it'll be a lot more expensive in January than it is today.
So would you say now then is the ideal time to be buying a watch before this increase comes in?
I think you'll see some smart people start to take some punts on some day dates, full gold day dates, Daytonas, that kind of thing, start banking them. You'll probably see traders not shifting them as much and maybe hold on to them to see what happens. A bit like with Pepsis last year when there was rumours of being discontinuations. There was a real lack of them on the market, and that's because traders probably weren't letting them go.
Yeah. What do you think at home? As I said, any questions that you have from this, things you agree with, disagree with, literally anything, get them in the comments, because obviously this is new to everyone. No one has a clue how this is, 100% going to affect anything. So we want to hear your opinions. We want to hear all your predictions. We want to have all your questions. We want to see everyone's different opinions and thoughts. So get them in down below. Please make sure that you like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you soon for another video.